Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Healing Journal where I am sharing my healing journey in real time. So, I don't usually use these little mics, but it is so windy outside, but it's too beautiful to just be inside. And after this, I'm going to take a bubble bath and get ready for my show. So, I just wanted to talk to you about some things that have helped me with anxiety. The first thing for me is walking. So, I know I keep saying I want to do an entire video on walking, but walking changed my life. Not only did I lose 40 pounds, but I also just was able to, in the midst of chaos or a hard moment, I would just walk. And I started this about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, actually, now that I think about it. And it really helped because, let's just say that you are not feeling well, or you're in a fight with someone, or you're scared, or you're worried about something, go for a walk. And, you know, there's one of my favorite YouTubers actually that has some really good advice. His name is Dan Coe, and he has a video about walking. And I did get a Peloton bike, which was a dream of mine to have. They were just so expensive, so I had to wait until I had enough money to get one. But it was so nice for me to be able to go on the bike no matter what the weather is, because where I live, the weather can be very unpredictable. We also have bugs down here in the Florida Keys, so that can be a problem sometimes. But walking really helped. And so between the Peloton and biking and walking, even if it wasn't for any other purpose other than to just go to the end of the street and back, right? So when you're in doubt, when you have some kind of stress going on, go for a walk. When someone has upset you, go for a walk. This might even mean that you have to take a bathroom break at work. And that means going to walk to the bathroom and back. And I know that sounds crazy, but I know a lot of people don't have the time to go for a walk. And I'm going to urge you to make time. Now, I know that just from experience, from my perspective, I know that there have been moments in my life where I'm like, how in the heck am I ever going to have enough time to go for a walk and do this and do that? And you have to make yourself your priority no matter what is going on. And I realize I don't have kids yet, but I do know what it's like to be stressed and filled to the brim as a multi creative artist, especially. So if you just give yourself, even if it's just 1 minute, I hope you'll give yourself more than that, but just try. And so that is my first suggestion. My next suggestion is journaling. Now, journaling doesn't have to mean that you're there for hours and hours. Journaling can mean that you just take a few notes. Just write a couple of things. And it doesn't even have to be all at once. You can do a few lines in the morning when you wake up. And I like to use this like, what am I grateful for today? Well, let's just be real. We should all be grateful that the sun came up, because without the sun, we'd be in big trouble, right? So that's, I know that, I'm probably getting some eye rolls like, well, yeah, Kristen, of course the sun came up. Well, no, not necessarily. Okay. And here's the other thing, it's easier to practice with these small things so that then once you practice these things, it gets a lot easier. Okay, so shameless plug. This is one of my journals. This is one of my paintings. You can find these on Amazon. Shameless plug. And I highly recommend these, okay? They are blank and you can write whatever you want in them, okay? And this is a painting that I did called Pure Imagination, and it is full of lines. So there's all this space that you can use to write your thoughts, okay? Go get it on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description below. That was really hard with the wind. Anyway, just remember that you can write whatever you want. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can rip the pages out and burn them. You can, but tuck them away somewhere safe. You don't have to share them. You don't have to do anything. This is all you. There are no rules, okay? And the beauty in these things is you can develop these habits that work for you. The next thing that I would highly recommend is meditation has changed my life. And at first, when I started, I was one of those people, and I still struggle with this, having an overactive mind. And a lot of this comes from me trying to control my surroundings. And I'm not necessarily a controlling person per se, but it does scare me certain things, right? About certain people. Maybe they're lying about you, or maybe they've scared you and then they've turned your defense, right? Or something that you've done out of a reaction to what they did and tried to play it against you. I have always been triggered by this. It hurts me because I really believe that I have a pretty heavily anchored moral compass, and I am not on this planet to hurt people. And so when you are accused of something like that, it just, your heart starts pounding and your brain starts going. And I think that most anybody would feel the same way. And then the rumination happens, right? And I learned this as a little girl from certain people that I was around that just overthink. And then I would overthink again. And it really plays tricks on your mind. And it is so unhealthy because what happens? You get more of what you think about. And it's so true. And you can create this momentum on things for good and bad. So, meditation is so helpful with this, even if you just start with a little bit. And I know that I've said these things in other videos, but once again, this is a great example of if you repeat it and you listen to it and you keep putting it in your mind, it's going to finally stick. So start with 5 minutes. And if you don't know how to meditate, I highly recommend just closing your eyes, breathing through your nose slowly and out through your mouth slowly, okay? Start with that and try. I have noise canceling headphones in, but if you can't find something to focus on, and by this I mean thoughts, what I like to do is I like to use Esther Hicks' idea of only listening to the sound of the air conditioning. How boring, right? But what happens to your brain when you are giving yourself the time to have nothing to think about? It is healing. Okay. So even though maybe in the act it doesn't feel like anything's happening, but what actually is happening is your brain is repairing and it's giving you those healthy chemicals to repair so that you can have healthier thoughts and you can go about your day. It if you can do this twice a day, great. If you can only do it once a day, but I urge you to make time for this, okay? So try to find a time when you can do this. And if you are a parent or you are somebody that just can't seem to get away, this might sound a little strange, but if you're on the toilet or something and you just have 1 minute, just go sit there. It doesn't even mean you have to go to the bathroom. I know that's kind of weird to say out loud, but in my past, even my recent past, I would spend a lot of time in the bathroom. Why? Because I was scared, because I needed to separate myself from my environment. And so hiding in the bathroom was something that I did, anything that could hurt me or trigger me. And I was always made fun of it. And I never wanted to come out and say, well, it's because, I feel good when I'm out, in a place where is so open. So I know that's just a strange recommendation, and that's just something that I've done that's worked for me. And even if you're just in the bathroom and maybe you're taking some time to do your makeup or brush your hair or take a shower or a bath, just anything that has to do with self-care. But if you need a place of quiet, not many people are going to try to break down that bathroom door. In my past, they've tried, yes, but once again, just try to find these places, get in your car, and if you're not in a safe situation, which I understand, I've been in this before, maybe find a friend who can come with you and just be honest with them and say, hey, I'm going to just be really quiet and I'm going to sit here and I don't want to talk right now. I just want to feel safe. Would you please give me a ride? Because there's a lot of people that don't have cars. Okay, so just get creative with it. You don't have to do it the way that everybody else says to do it. Do what works for you. Last but not least, I am going to recommend getting good sleep. And I know that this is something that's really difficult for people, especially when you are not feeling well around your surroundings, or if you work weird hours, or if you just have, insomnia really bad. All of these other practices that I'm giving you are going to help with that. Try to get some sunlight as early in the day as you can. Believe it or not, this is going to help with your body regulating that circadian rhythm. If you are up all night and you are sleeping all day, or you have, your curtains down, or I actually at one point in my life lived in a concrete building, and it actually, because the sunlight couldn't get through, and I wasn't in the sun until the late afternoon because of the way that the sun would come in. If I wasn't able to go outside, I started to feel that we are meant to get some sunlight. Do it safely, of course, but again, we need that vitamin D and we need that real sunlight to help our body. And it's important that your eyes obviously protect them, but your eyes know too, okay? Because it's so important. Look it up, Google it. I'm not a doctor, but I'm here to tell you this stuff works. Okay, so get some good rest, take care of yourself, and I hope that this helps you. And now it's time for me to get ready for my show. All right, you guys, don't forget to go get one of these babies because I'm telling you, they have hardbacks and they also have paperbacks and they are made in the USA. Okay? All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.